Hey guys, so this is the makeup tutorial. I will be doing the eye makeup, and just in case you don't know how to do base makeup, I'll show you my routine. And let's start with the eye makeup. Okay, so the first step for eye makeup is the base layer underneath. So you are going to be priming your eyes. You can use whatever primer you want. Just slap on your eyes. I'm not doing that because I'm going to take this off in about 10 minutes. But make sure you put primer on your eyes to make sure it stays, because you will be very, very sweaty. The next step is also a base step. I'm going to be taking either foundation or concealer. You can put it on the back of your hand, I don't care. And you're just going to apply it onto the eye. This is going to create a base for your eyeshadow, and you're just going to work it on in there. Also, I prefer to do, if you like to use brow gel to stick your brows on there, I recommend going for that before you do any of this, but it's up to personal preferences. But for me, I do like to do my brows before this, so that is what I did. But right now, all I'm doing, I am putting foundation onto my eye, kind of a little bit around, but try not to go down. Sorry, you don't want to put as much foundation here yet if you start with your eyes, because then if you try to put on your base layer later, then it'll get a little cakey under the eyes. So try to avoid the eye bags as much as possible and just stick to the eyelid. Next step that I love to do, I like adding a little bit of loose setting powder. This is the one, no idea what brand this is actually, and I just put a little loose setting powder. This is going to really ensure, all these steps ensure that your base makeup will stay. And even here you could add a spray of setting spray on there for extra protection. I'm not doing that right now because this is just a tutorial, but I would prefer if you spray your eyes right now before you put on any color. Now I'm going to show you two ways you can do the eyes. One is beginner friendly, where you take a piece of tape. If you're not a person to do eyeshadow well, take a piece of tape, find your eye line and see how it comes up and that natural line right here at this kind of angle. If you put the tape on that natural line, or like right below it where you don't rip out your eyelashes, that's going to create a nice face framing, natural, as much as natural can be, eye shape. If not, you can just free bone it. Okay, now you're gonna start with your colors. I prefer to use this type of eyeshadow brush. It's a thick little thing and it packs on the color really well. Forgive me, I do not have my red palette yet, so I will be using pink, but please use your orangey red, not a pink. So all you're going to do is get that color onto your brush, and you're going to follow your eye shape. I like looking straight into a mirror, or if you're looking at a mirror, I like looking straight at a mirror like this and finding where my crease of my eye is and putting the eyeshadow right above the crease like this, so I know where to like stop. But because if you only put it on the eyelid, it's not going to show and you're just going to have a bright red eyelid. So put it right above this crease and kind of bring it down and slightly shape it into like a slight wing of sorts, like so. Nice little round little wing. You can go as high into the brow as you kind of want to. I prefer to leave like a centimeter of skin, because that's when I blend, like that's when I start blending it, and then it kind of goes up further. So I like to leave like a centimeter. And so you just pack on the dark color of your eyeshadow, the dark red-ish orange color, not a pink, and you're just gonna pack that on there. I bring it a little bit onto my eyelid here, but I'm gonna leave this part kind of alone, because that's where our next color is going to be. So the next color in the fiery look is that nice bright orange that I do have, but let me grab it. Okay, I have my orange color. This can come from whatever palette you come from. It's gonna be that kind of bright, fiery, lava looking orange. So I'm gonna grab that And you're just going to, where you put that color on your eyelid, all you're going to do is kind of put it right on top and start blending it into the top of the crease, like so, and just slightly blending the two colors together. Bring it down into your inner corner a bit, but save room for the yellow or gold. And you're gonna just nice and blend it. If you have to go back to your red, then please do so. You want to create as smooth as an ombre as possible. Don't worry too much about the niceness of it, because if you get a blending brush, this will be like 20 times easier for you. But you see how I created that nice little transitional shade? And so yes, so that is what you want to start off with. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye and I'll be right back. Actually, I lied. I'm gonna show you how to do it without the masking tape. This is masking tape. If you use duct tape, I will laugh at you. You're gonna take your pink, red, you're gonna take your reddish orange color, and again, like you say, you're gonna look directly at the mirror, camera, whatever you're using, glass window, I don't care. Look directly at it. You don't want to go on this because your wing is gonna look like something strange, and you want it to look pretty nice on you. So you can look directly into a camera. I'm looking at the mirror behind my phone, and I'm gonna follow the natural shadow of my eye. You can kind of see a little shadow right here. That is what I am following. And you're gonna bring up a little wing looking thing here, and then you're gonna come on top of that crease just like before and put the color right on top of the crease so it'll show. Just a light brush of the crease and connect the two corners. Again, still looking as much as you can straight into the mirror or reflective surface. I would not recommend doing this blindfolded, okay? Not the greatest decision you might ever make. But see how it creates that nice sharpish, you can make this probably as sharp or as round as you want. I love mine pretty sharp. It gives off a fiercer look. And you're gonna put that, it just is up to your preference. You can round off this corner and like come at like a curve like this with your brush. It's up to you, honestly. And I'm gonna come into the crease where I missed the dot out. See, it's kind of like a zigzaggy pattern. That's kind of what you'll want for that nice blend. So you're gonna bring in this color, start bringing it down, and just like before, go ahead and grab your orange and smack that right on top of the middle of your eyeball where your iris is, essentially. Get that good old-fashioned blend in there. I'm just gonna go ahead and put that on, and I'll be right back. Okay, I have my color on, and now, before I add the yellow, I'm gonna take a blending brush. It's a nice little, small little fluffy brush, and all I'm gonna do is take on the darkest color actually I'm gonna do lightest color. You're gonna go where the line is on your skin and just blend it in a sideways motion, following that curve that you made with your eyeshadow. And just make a nice, good old curve in there. All you're doing is blending that dark color into your natural skin so it doesn't look like you just took a crayon to your face. And just like this, you're gonna blend it and see how it's starting to blend upwards. That's why I left that centimeter of skin, because the color will blend upwards more than you might think. You want to make sure it's nice and blended. I don't like doing vertical strokes because it can bring the color like all the way out here when you don't want it to, so I prefer just following that natural arc. And if I need to tweak it, I'll just push my brush up into where I want it. But I'm just gonna blend your red color around, and it's now a nice ombre comparing to this eye versus this eye, how it's nice and sharp versus this nice and like blended look. And you can come back and forth if you need to add more eyeshadow on, whatever you want to look good with. And I'm going to do the same with this eye as well, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I have blended this a little bit more, and notice I left that sharp line alone. If you like eyeliner, that's going to actually, fun fact, be where your eyeliner goes. You don't have to worry about, hey, does my eyeliner go this way, that way? boom, you already have a line to follow. That's why I left it. And this line is going to create that same line effect. Now afterwards, you can do a little blend out here if you want to. It is personal preference. I prefer not to because I like a sharp little eyeliner look here. Like, I like that. It's up to you. You can just do a little blend like I will do right now. And sorry, I'm like looking at you guys. But remember, if you do have this masking tape on, you're going to have to wait for a later step. Okay, another additional step, not too completely required, that I like to do is, now that I've blended out the color, I can see where the color is most opaque at, which is right here, or where it's the most concentrated. And if I want to add more of that pigment, go straight on ahead. I like to open my eyes like this, like I'm surprised. And I like to go right above my crease line right here. So that way when I kind of relax my eyes, you can see the distinction between the two colors. And then your red doesn't disappear into like nowhere. So I'm going to lift up with my eyes and put it right on top of this crease with my packed brush again. Just like this. And that's going to create that really cool like layered color effect. And then I'm going to just go ahead, blend it on the inside, and then blend it outwards again. And so that is how they're going to look with your red and orange. Now the next color that you have in your little fiery pattern is a yellow. So I'm going to go ahead, this one. I like to wipe my makeup brush on like a little piece of paper towel or toilet paper, doesn't matter, just so I can get off that pink. Not a mandatory step if you're in a rush, but that's just what I like to do for cleanliness of the color so it doesn't get muddy. But you are going to go ahead and take a yellow eyeshadow. And by the way, you can replicate this with liquid eyeshadow. I personally find it harder to do so, but because in competitions, it's harder to hurriedly blend liquid eyeshadow rather than powdered eyeshadow, but it is up to your preference. What you do, the steps are relatively the same. But anyways, back to the yellow. I'm going to take my yellow, and because this is going to be my inner corner, I'm going to look at, I like looking up a little bit and seeing where this eye curves up. And I'm just going to take that yellow and curve it with it and blend it into my pink that I ended up here. You're just going to bring it, and then I'm going to diagonally my brush and bring it onto the eyelid like so. It looks a little crazy, but I'm going to just leave it there to marinate for a second while I do the other eye. This one is pretty self-explanatory, but you might want to work with it with your eye shape. But you just put the yellow on, just like that. And then same steps as before, I like to wipe off my brush, blend on the outside first, and then blend on the inside to create this nice ombre effect. Now, if once you add the yellow, I'm going to be honest, your orange is probably going to disappear. It's probably going to go poof. So take your orange again, and right where the yellow meets the red, you're going to put it just straight on there. Just put it on there like a barricade. Just like, wha-bam. And then blend it. And by the way, you can get these brushes from Miss A's shop at the mall or something. Or you can go to Walmart and go to the elf section. This is, never mind, oh, it didn't wear off, but this is the elf brush. These are like $1 or $2 each. You can get a big fat pack of them if you want. It's up to you. But try not to buy expensive brushes for competition season. They're gonna get ruined. They're gonna get ruined with eyeshadow color all the time. Make sure you have clean brushes, by the way, when you start the season, so you don't get yourself an eye infection. That'd be lovely. Now at this point, the base of your eye makeup is technically done, and this is when you look at it and you're like, okay, maybe this spot's a little opaque, I'm gonna go back with that color. And this is just for general touch-ups. You can darken the color as much as you want. You can lighten the color even more. Just use your 2 brushes to blend out nice, and then pack on the color, and you'll be good to go. So this is touch-up time. Okay, I did some small touch-ups, added a little more color to mine. Now is on to the nice glittery look that you have on the inner corner. Now I'm gonna do it 2 ways again. There is one way where if you buy your palette and it has like a shimmery yellow, you can go ahead and do that. That's perfectly fine. But if your palette that you end up buying does not have one of those, you can go ahead And this one I found in store at Ulta. It's a NYX liquid eyeshadow. I will be trying this out for the first time, but I've heard it's really, really good. Well, this is the second time, sorry. And all you're going to do is put it onto the eye and kind of blend it out like an eyeshadow. Or the ones that are pretty cheap, you go on the e.l.f. website. These are the liquid glitters. They come in this little tube. You can probably find an off-brand too, but just make sure if you want to use them that it's a liquid so it's easily blended. Or again, you can go ahead and use your eyeshadow. So I'm going to show you both ways really quick. So on this eye, I'm going to go ahead and do my shimmers. All I'm going to do is I'm going to really pack on that shimmer that I have. And just like we did with the yellow, I'm just going to follow it, pack it onto the eye, and bring it onto the crease a bit, right about halfway where your iris stands if you look straight at it. And then I'm going to take the brush, I'm going to put it flat, and bring it up into the shadow of your eye, just like this. And see how the shimmer is there? And then just like all the other eyeshadows, go in with the good old-fashioned blendy brush. Some shimmers are a little bit more dead than others, so you have to do like a couple layers like I'm about to do. This is a really old palette of mine. So all you do is layer it on the inner corner. Try not to get powder in your eyes. You might start crying, no bueno. And this is why I really love to do my eyeshadow first in the day, because I can't tell if you know, I can't tell if you can see, but I have all this eyeshadow underneath my eye that's just simply fallen off my brush that I can wipe up afterwards before I put on my base, so I don't have yellow gold infused base. Okay, but that is the eyeshadow. Now with the liquid, I don't like to use brushes with liquid stuff. I'm going to go ahead and use my e.l.f. one because I want to try to get rid of her. All you're going to do, scoop up the liquid gold, get it? Haha, liquid gold. And all you're going to do is just like the brush, you're going to look at it and put some gold on your inner corner. This is why I prefer the liquids. They show up so much better on my eyes than the powders, but it is literally up to you. If you love some glam, I really prefer the glitters because you can even see in camera how different. Like, I can see the glitter perfectly fine in front, but the camera really shows it. And all you do, take your finger, don't matter what finger, open your eyeballs, and just blend it into the eye like this. You're going to blend it into the red color, just like that. And now you have a nice little shimmer attached onto your lovely eyeball. A little more shimmer here. Yeah, see, there is a difference with the liquid versus just powder. I do prefer the liquid, so I did find this one really nice. I tested it. What I did was I walked through the Ulta looking for makeup. I found it like the first 2 minutes I went to the thing. I slapped it on my wrist. Ow. I slapped it onto my wrist. I walked around the store for like 15 minutes. Then I looked at my wrist. I rubbed it. It did not come off. I put some water on. It didn't come off as easy. So I think this is a pretty good waterproof one. Also, make sure your eyeshadows are waterproof. For the love of Jesus, make sure they're waterproof. Otherwise, when you sweat, you're going to look like a rainbow Oompa Loompa in the nicest way possible. So just make sure that you use waterproof eyeshadow. And if not, setting spray is your best friend. This is a setting spray I really like. It's good for sensitive skin. It's the Rev 1 Lock-In 24-hour one. I think there's a 48-hour one, but I didn't buy that. And right now, I would be spraying my face with this. Right now. Again, I will not be doing that because I'm taking this off in about 10 minutes. But you're going to spray it, okay? Look, I sprayed it on. So now that we're done spraying it on, you're going to let your eyeballs dry. Try not to cry, because I know if it gets in your eye, that hurts a little bit. Now, in the inspiration photo that was sent, there is a bit of color coming from underneath. So that's pretty simple to do. I like using this type of brush. It's a smaller brush. It's a compact, smaller brush. It's different from the one I've been using. This one's a little bit more smaller. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my red or even the orange, and I'm going to just take it lightly, put it on the brush, tap off some excess. You don't want too much. And I'm just going to look at my eyes and just like kind of start putting it on my waterline like so. The easiest way I love to do it too is I just put it in my eye, close my eyes, and just go back and forth, and it puts it on normally pretty well. I'm going to go ahead and do this with my red color. So I'm going to take my red color and just kind of slightly blend it. I'm going to look crazy for like 3 seconds, so forgive me for that. And you're just going to blend it, and with that fake little cut crease that you had here, put it and just blend it with it. And just gently put it on. If you don't trust your brush to be that close to your eyes, you can just like gently open your eyes and put it like this on the waterline. Just like so. I don't like doing too much because when your makeup runs, this will run too, and that's closer to your cheeks, so I don't prefer doing that as much. I don't like doing too much color. And then after, take a blending brush and just blend her on in there. And now I'm going to be taking off this, and look at that nice little crease that I created with that tape. See how it's pretty even too? Sorry. And then same thing here, start with the crease, bring it in, open your eye if you really want. Go ahead and put this on in there. I'm going to look at my mirror for a second. Just a slight bit. You don't want too much because then it will look like you might have a little bit of a baggy eye. I personally don't do this often, but you know. Okay, and then also basing off the inspiration photo, you're going to go ahead and take your yellow and bring it onto the inner corner, the bottom inner corner of your eyeball. Doing a slight bit here and bringing it into the waterline. Again, not too much, just enough to where it looks like you have some color on your face. And stepping back, you can see how it kind of opens my eye shape up a little bit, and I'm like, and then here I could add some glitter here as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and grab my, again, liquid or powder. This is the powder side. Ow. This is the powder side. Sorry, I got some in my eye. Gently put it here. Take your blending brush, wipe it off, go wee. Cool, you're blended. Same thing with the liquid. Take it. You don't need too much. And then use your finger to kind of just like blend it on in there. So that, my friends, is the eyeshadow. In the inspiration photo, it does look like he has some darker colors here. So with my red color that I had, I'm going to find the darker version of that red color on my palette. The very darkest, even if it's a little bit brownish purple. I'm going to go ahead and take that red-ish color and look at my eyes. Find this little crease and just slightly add some shadow to it. It's going to give it some nice dimension in the eye, right where the crease meets the eyeliner line. It's going to give it a really nice shadow. And you can go ahead and blend it onto the eyelid a little bit too. That's what gives it that dramatic effect, as in that's in the second photo that was sent in Slack. And guys, when you're doing your makeup, please make sure you have the reference photo in front of you too, so you can like kind of see what you're doing. And then here, I'm just going to do some minor touch-ups on the top like this. I like to bring, with my blending brush, that red-ish color and put it on top of my eyes where I want it a little bit more vibrant, like so. And here we go. All your eyeshadow is done. Now, the next step, you're going to go ahead and do some eyeliner. Let me go ahead and do a wipe off real quick, and I will get to the eyeliner part. Okay, I'm back. I just wiped off my face from all the dust that I had here. You're going to take your eyeliner. I like to use these crayon ones. It's whatever brand. Make sure it's freaking waterproof. This is practically mandated to be waterproof. Otherwise, you're going to have a bad time on your competition days. So all you're going to do is you're going to line your eyes here all the way through. You can create a wing as big as you want. But again, remember, you already have your eyeliner line, so you don't have to worry about finding that. So all I'm going to do is take it. You can use liquid, whatever, liquid, pencil, it doesn't matter. You can use your liquid, but I use this kind of like, personally I like to use it like crayonish one. Or you can just use a regular eyeliner pencil, but I do prefer the crayon ones. It's personal preference. You're going to take a black one, and you're going to put it on your eye. A trick that I like to do with my eyeliner is I like grabbing my skin right below the eye and pulling it so I can get that nice tight skin in order to do a nice eyeliner. And you're just going to follow it through the whole eye. Just like so. I gotta stop looking at the camera. Do it as thick or as thin as you want. Try to make it look nice. Okay, and now I have my eyeliner done, and I'm gonna copy it on this side. I'll be right back. Okay, I went ahead, I did the eyeliner here. You can stop here if you really want to and just add your lashes on, but I'm gonna show you how to do a wing. So take your pencil, crayon, liquid, doesn't matter. And all you're going to do is do the same trick, and I'm going to also lift the eyebrows. And it already creates like a slight shadow here. That is not eyeliner. That is a shadow where my eye is. I'm just going to go ahead and take that, tilt your whatever you're using downwards. Or if it's liquid, go ahead and go straight. And you're just going to go ahead and gently draw on a line connecting it from your eye. This one you can look sideways at. It's gonna look crazy at first. Sometimes it'll work better, sometimes it won't. And now I'm gonna start around here, and I'm gonna bring it up into the eye. Now it looks a little crazy here. Fun fact, get a Q-tip. Push it onto your eye. You can put some micellar on it, water on it. I'm just gonna bare bone it and clean her on up. And look, you have a beautiful little eye. Same thing here. I will do a smaller wing here so you can see what this looks like. Again, bring the eye here and up. We'll go ahead and stop here for people that like smaller wings. And then same thing, you're going to take from the tip and just bring it inwards up into the middle of the eye. Oops. This is why we do our eyeshadow first, people. And then take your Q-tip and get that on fixed up. Fix it to your heart's content. Make it your eyeliner as big, as thin, as thick as you want. But remember, the winter guard judges are going to be right in front of you guys. At one point, you're going to be standing right in front of the judges. Like imagine a gym floor, they're going to be right in front of you. So you want your makeup to look great. I mean, they probably won't really care, but you know, it's a thought that counts. And then just go ahead and clean it up. If you get it right on the first try, yippee-ki-yay for you. Congratulations. And now all I do is I take a clean Q-tip and I drag the inner corner of my eyes a little bit like that, so I get rid of any eyeshadow that's going into my eye. And now we have a pretty finished eyeliner look. You can add a cat wing if you want, which is essentially this. You're going to bring your eye crease in, create a small line from your inner corner, and it creates that nice thing look. Sorry, I'm kind of brain farting right now. So there is two different eye shapes, comes in more or it just chills out. Make the eyeliner as big or as small, as flat or as angled as you want. This is how I like to do my eyeliner. And as you can see, I already followed the eyeshadow line and it created a pretty good base for me. Now, next step, setting spray. Go put that on. Do a layer, another one. Put it on, please, before you do your last step, which should be your lashes. Now, you will have to forgive me. I'm not the greatest at lashes. There's probably way better videos online with how to do lashes, but I'm just gonna attempt to do my best to show y'all what I can do. But again, I do probably recommend going to find another YouTube video for that. So I'm going to take my lash, I'm going to put a little glue on the lash. I make sure to get those corners really nice. The corners of the lashes, I like to put a little more glue than normal. And you're going to wait for this to dry a little bit. So blow on it, I think it's like 30 seconds, and then, yeah, then we can put it on. Okay, I went ahead and put one eyelash on, so I'm going to show you this one. All you're going to do, put it on your lash line. Oops, I put that upside down. That was dumb. You can use tweezers. It's whatever you want. You're just going to go ahead and stick that on there. Put the corners of the eyelash on your actual eyeball. Again, there's like probably a video like that's like 20 times better online somewhere. Please go follow that one. But this is how I do my lashes. And so now we are technically done with all the makeup. And I think you know what I'm about to say. Setting spray. Please put that on. Heck, use hairspray. I can't. I got sensitive skin. Setting spray it. Put it on. And we should be good to go. If you want some extra shimmer, you can go ahead and take highlighter, put it on another fluffy brush, and you can go ahead and put that on your inner corner of your eye, just to give it that extra little bit of shine. It's totally up to you. You can even use a yellow under-based highlighter for that extra shine, like so. And now you're shimmering and jimmering all around. And this is the proper eye makeup. Remember, please use red. Don't use pink for the love of Jesus. Please use that dark reddish orange. That is an inspiration picture. And hope you guys this helped, and I'll see you guys later.